It is the Thursday edition of the Data Roundtable where I facilitate and hold space for everybody to talk about their data related items. I'm here to listen, I'm here to help, I'm here to answer questions, whatever you'd like to talk about that relates to our careers as data professionals. I'm here for it. So let me know that you're out there. Feel free to join in, feel free to add a discussion. Really, anything goes. Anything that you're reading, that you're trying, that you're experimenting with, that you're questioning, that you're looking at, let me know. Let me know in the chat what you're doing, what you're up to. What are you doing today to help yourself get better as a data scientist? That's all that matters, right? That every single day you are taking steps forward to help you become a better data scientist. So, what is that for you today? What are you doing? What's on your mind? What are you working on? If you want to let me know, I'd love to hear from you. The whole point here is for us to get together and talk and just be able to, listening to other people's opinions and other people's perspectives, very important in data science. Very, very important. Do not underestimate the value of that. Likewise, being able to give your view and be able to accept criticism or other people's perspectives on your view, also very important. So that's why I believe in the data roundtable format. So you're welcome to join. You're welcome to let me know what you're working on, and we'll go from there. See where the conversation takes us. I start my streaming day right here on YouTube, and then I move over to Instagram whenever the thought carries me over there. But yeah, this is a place for you to meet other data scientists and contribute. So already in the chat we have Casual Economists saying, "Hey Dennis, hey Casual Economist, how are you, my friend? Hope you're doing well out there in Minnesota." I imagine that it's very humid in Minnesota this time of year, all those lakes and everything. But I hope you're doing well. Casual Economist says YouTube chat is kind of lonely lately. Yeah, you're right. That can't be denied. But hey, you know what? It ebbs and flows, right? YouTube chat is a little lonely, but Instagram chat has become very lively. I've been streaming a lot more on Instagram recently, and that's been a lively chat. So you know what? That's okay. So it comes and goes, right? You never know what's going to appeal on YouTube and vice versa, right? So yeah, obviously I do wish that there were more participants, but that's okay. It's not a reflection of anything other than people are busy. But we're just going to keep on trying. It's possible that in the future I might reserve chats on YouTube just for Sundays, when I do the longer tutorial, because I know people enjoy those. But who knows? Maybe there could be some changes coming up for my use of YouTube. I don't know. I'm always looking at other things, always considering other things. So you never know, Casual Economists. You never know. What was that? Oh, right. The times where we do have chat on the YouTube, I do find that the YouTube chat tends to be a little bit more mature than the Instagram chat. Like I like the topics that are brought up more on the YouTube side. I mean, not that I don't like the topics on the Instagram side, but on the Instagram side, it's a little bit more about jobs and students as opposed to like actually talking about the issues that we talk about on the YouTube. So I do appreciate that difference between the two chats when the YouTube chat does get going. Casual Economist says, "I'm about to have a Juicy Lucy beer at the state fair." What? It's a Thursday. How are you at the state fair on a Thursday? Well, they're obviously keeping you very, very busy, Casual Economist. You're a busy guy. How are you at the state fair on a Thursday? Jeez. But a beer sounds good. I might have a beer later too. Jeez, that sounds good. Casual Economist says, "I watch no matter the platform." Thank you so much, Casual Economist. You've been such a great supporter for a long time. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. Aditya, welcome. Aditya, I think it might be your first time, so welcome. Aditya says hi. Rafael Evangelista also says, "Hey Dennis." Hey Rafael, nice to have you here. I think it's your first time. Thanks for joining in. So for those of you just joining, this is the Data Science Roundtable where we can talk about anything related to data. So anything you guys want to talk about, You want to let me know what's going on in your life? Let me know. Mogambo also says hi. How you doing, Mogambo? Nice to see you. Glad you're here. Let me know if there's anything we can help you with. Mogambo says hey. Hey to you too. Let us know where you guys are checking in from. Let me know what you guys are working on. I'm here to answer questions. You know, I love this format because I take on all comers for questions. It's always interesting to see the different questions that people are asking. So let me know what's on your mind. But yeah, you know, I have no agenda, guys. Whatever you guys want to talk about, let me know. Raphael says, I am head of AI solutions. Nice. Where? Where? What industry? What are you working on? Go ahead and share whatever you're comfortable sharing, Raphael. But thanks for being here. Mogambo says, where are you from, Dennis? I am in the western part of the United States. I live in Las Vegas. That's where I am broadcasting to you guys from. Been in Las Vegas for the greater part of 12, 13 years. Took a little break to try living in New York for a little bit. So yeah, it's a beautiful place to live. Just very, very warm right now. Raphael says, app AI agent solutions in Paris. Nice, very cool. Well, good for you, Raphael. Really appreciate having you here. Anything that we can help you with or you want to share, would love to hear from somebody, you know, in your position as somebody who's active in the AI space. Would love to hear more about that. Would also love to spend more time in Paris. I got to spend 2 days in Paris a long time ago. What a beautiful city. Would love to spend more time there. Okay, so Mogambo shares, I am currently pursuing a degree in BCA final year. In BCA, what is BCA? Is that a city? Is that a city or a degree or what is that? Any thoughts on a final year project? Ooh, Mogambo, I am sorry, my friend, but I do not give ideas for projects. I don't give ideas for work projects, and I definitely don't give ideas for academic projects. Mogambo, I gotta tell you, I get real concerned when I hear from somebody like you. You're in your final year. You've obviously invested time studying. How is it that you don't have project ideas? Like, the world should be just full of numbers to somebody like you, yeah? So I get real concerned when somebody, you know, who's been studying is lacking for project ideas. Like, how does that happen? Like, you should like for somebody who's like late in their study program, like the world should look different to you now, right? It should be a big fat collection of numbers, right? So Magambo, I'm a little worried about you, my friend. I'm a little worried. Raphael says, what do you think about N8N architectures or others no-code solutions to have more speed and development? Is it a good approach in your view? Raphael, that's a great question. Thanks for asking that. Um, I'm not sure if I see N8N on the same level as no-code solutions, right? To me, N8N is more of an architecture and deployment, whereas no-code solutions could be everything from vibe coding to software developers that are heavily aided by AI, cursor, things along those lines, right? Um, so I don't know. To me, I'd rather split those out. N8N, I think the jury is still out. I'm not convinced that N8N has staying power yet. My gut tells me is that it's just another fad that will eventually fade away. I don't see it having strong staying power. But as far as the no-code solutions or vibe coding or cursor and Claude code, that is definitely here to stay, right? I think that all software development will be very heavily aided by AI. And Raphael, I don't know how familiar you are with my past content, but I have plenty of content where I've taught, you know, solutions and books, and I've used 100% AI coding, and we've run into very, very little errors, right? So to me, like if nobody should be starting from a blank code page anymore, right? Like that's wrong. Like you shouldn't be doing that. So yeah, Raphael, that's my thinking on it. But I mean, I have at this point on my live streams, I've created thousands and thousands and thousands of lines of code just with AI prompting. So I think that's definitely here to stay. Okay, so Magambo says it's a Bachelor of Computer Science. Okay, thank you for that. Casual Economist says I should think of a data project while at the fair stuffing my face. Well, Casual Economist, you should think about why your current job situation allows you to be at the fair stuffing your face. How did you manage it? I'm genuinely curious now. Let me know in the chat. Like, it's a Thursday. What is today a state holiday so that everyone can go to the fair? That's crazy, man. Raphael says thanks. Yeah, Raphael, anytime, anytime. Magamba says, I want reference, dude. I have a lot, but what kind of area should I concern with? Concern yourself with one of your ideas then, Magambo. Jeez. Calm down with the attitude. Jeez. Raphael says, yes, I agree. Yeah, thanks for that, Raphael. I mean, I think that, like, maybe like 60% of the skill right now of being an AI professional or a data science professional is just avoiding the noise, right? Like dodging the noise is like 60% of your data science skill right now, right? So N8N, I'm not jumping on that bandwagon. I don't like to jump on many bandwagons. I choose them carefully, right? N8N just doesn't feel like it's going to be around, because like, isn't it just like a really fancy API layer? Like, did API layers disappear overnight and nobody told me? Like, like just roll your own APIs. Like, so anyways, um, yeah, you're welcome to take a look at some of my previous content. But I mean, somebody like Casual Economist, he knows what I'm talking about. He's been there quite a bit. But I've taught lots of classes, lots of hours of coding just with prompts. I never try any of the prompts ahead of time, just doing it live, you know, and it's incredible how few mistakes AI makes. And that's in current AI, right? If you project that forward to how much better they're going to get over time, I mean, to me, we are going to reach a stage where you'll never double check the code. The code will just always be correct. It'll just always work, right? Casual Economist says, I worked 16 hours yesterday. I'm kind of a big fish in a small pool at my work. Okay, well, there's worse setups than that. Good for you. Good for you. It's always good to be a little bit ahead. Like I tell my coaching clients, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king, right? You don't have to know a lot. You just have to know a lot more than the next guy. Excuse me. So I'm working. Casual Economist says, so I'm working from the fair today. Well, I hope your boss doesn't see this stream. Let's hope your boss isn't a data scientist. Did you guys see the video of the guy working from the Chicago Cubs game? He had his laptop on literally his lap, and then he was using the mouse over on the side on the bleacher. He was literally doing work from the Cubs game. They got him on TV and stuff. So maybe that'll be you, Casual Economist. Magambo says, what are your thoughts on a data administrator analytics? I'm for it. Are you by chance am I a teacher? No, not, well, I consider myself more of a mentor and coach. I mean, I'm a teacher in some of the tutorials that I run and some of these live streams, right? I mean, I have done quite a bit of code instruction on live streams, but I do one-on-one coaching, but I view myself more as a mentor and a coach more than a teacher in those scenarios, right? because people have different needs from me. So yeah, I'm more of a one-on-one mentor and all that, right? I mean, I do the live streams and the content for fun, but what I really enjoy is the one-on-one work I do. I come from a family of teachers. My parents are both teachers, so and I've always been pretty good at explaining things, like to colleagues and stuff like that. But no. Oh, I do have my substitute teacher license. I should say that I did get that last year. I got that last year in my state here. So if I ever did want to be like a teacher, well, I can be a substitute teacher now, but a substitute teacher license can also put you on the path to be a full-time teacher. So if I wanted to do that, I could do that. So I have like done the paperwork for that. But no, this what you're seeing here is my full-time job. I am a full-time data science content creator and a coach. But really the one-on-one work is what I enjoy the most. So yeah, I almost forgot about that, but I do, and I don't think I've said that before, but I do have my substitute teacher license. I live in the state of Nevada, so that's licensed by the state. So I do have that from the state. Haven't done anything with it yet, but yeah, I do have a substitute teacher license to do that. And actually, with that license, I can also become what's known as a paraprofessional, I think, which basically means that I can be like an assistant to a teacher. So that's more of a full-time job. But yeah, casual economist is teaching PyTorch. Oh man, that would be great if I could be a part-time teacher, a substitute teacher for PyTorch. I'd go in there and I would just ruin that class, right? I would go in there and tell them, okay, guys, your teacher has been wasting your time with PyTorch. Let me tell you how it really is. That would be great, right? They probably wouldn't hire me very often. But yeah, that would be nice if I could be a substitute teacher for PyTorch. I don't even know if they have tech courses anymore in public schools. Maybe like the magnet schools. But do they even teach computers anymore? It seems like that's one of those programs that's been cut, right? Magamba says, yeah, one thing I don't have explaining while I don't even know. Well, Magambo, that's one of the things, right? You have to be a master of your own stuff before you try to train others, right? Like, that's part of the challenge, right? Raphael says, just one more question that we have some difficulties here in the project. What do you think is the most promising approach to continuously feeding back knowledge into an AI agent like a loop? Yeah, Raphael, that's a great question. Well, do you want to feed back knowledge or do you want to feed back results, right? Like the validation side. Those are two different things, right? So let me know if you want to have a more specific discussion about that. Raphael says yes, the output, the results. Okay. Well, one, you have to have a really good human validation team for that, right? Because how do you validate the results themselves? Like who is deciding that the results are good or bad? You can't. That's not a one-person job, right? Because then you'll just be introducing bias. You'll be introducing that person's bias, right? So that's my first question to that problem. How do you make sure that you're managing the results themselves, that you actually can validate those results in an effective way? That's a team effort, not an individual effort. And then the second part would probably come back to a little bit of your processing power. And the reason I say that is because what you want to do is you want to run models in parallel, right? You want to constantly have one that's deployed and you want to have one that's constantly in development, right? Like almost like it's kind of like a continuous deployment model, but like they're both in flight at the same time, right? And I say that because the models are gonna take a long time to train, right? I mean, I'm assuming you have fairly complex models. So I think that's part of it, right? You just have to kind of make it part of your company ethos that you're constantly training models. Most companies aren't used to that. Like, I get that, right? But that's what you'd have to be doing, right? You'd have to be validating your results, feeding them back, and constantly retraining your models. And then I guess timing also becomes part of it, right? How do you manage to make sure that your validation cycles are in sync with your training cycles, given that your training cycles might be longer than your validation cycles, right? Because you could have models that take like multiple weeks to train, right? So Raphael says, nice, we create a hybrid team to validate, but we have fear to always be in that and never be really autonomous, hybrid with humans. But Raphael, that may be a problem. It doesn't have a solution depending on how specialized you are, right? And yes, it is something that will seem endless, but your model will be better for it, right? Like, you kind of want the human in the loop at all times. Like, other than the expense and the time, there's no downside to it. There's a lot of upside to it. Again, assuming that you're using a team and not introducing individual bias, right? But what's your downside other than the expense? Like, you should want this, right? Like, you should want those results constantly validated. Your model is only going to be better because of that. Raphael says, nice, thanks for the insight. Yeah, you're welcome, Raphael. These are definitely the types of issues that I work on with my executive clients. You're asking great questions. But, guys, that's one of the things I tell people. Don't underestimate the value of human validation overall, but especially when it comes to NLP projects and even some image processing projects or computer vision projects, right? You can't. Well, you can now with LLMs, but you shouldn't want to over engineer or over automate the validation processes. There's no substitute for human validation, for having human eyes on your results, right? Lots and lots of projects go wrong right there. They don't have the right plan ahead of time for the human validation. Magamba says, "Okay, see you later." A bunch of coding. Thanks for stopping by, Magamba. Hope you do well in your coding. But yeah, Raphael, that's something that you should want to have high touch involvement from your humans, right? Like, that's a good thing. Like, yeah, I get it. It's expensive and it seems taxing, and maybe your humans will get tired of it. I get it, but super valuable, super valuable. Like, your models are only going to be better for it. Like, there's no downside. So yeah. Good questions today, guys. See, you know what, guys? This is exactly what I was talking about. The YouTube conversation tends to be just a couple more notches up, right? A couple more notches up in what we're talking about. We even got casual economists out there at the Minnesota State Fair, stuffing their face, working from the fair. So yeah, I love the elevated nature of the conversation here on YouTube. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. Raphael says, nice, I agree, thanks. Yeah, let me know if I can help with anything else, Raphael. Happy to sit down with you and talk about these types of issues. You're describing issues that a lot of companies are working through, right? These are exactly the types of questions I get from my corporate clients. Casual Economist says, besides my questions, YT is a no. I love the personality that your questions bring, Casual Economist. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. You've been such a great longtime supporter. Really appreciate you, my friend. And don't get too drunk over there at the fair, because you were also talking about having a couple of beers. You're making me thirsty. I might have a beer later. I'll certainly have a beer tomorrow. I'm meeting a friend for lunch tomorrow. Actually, no, I can't have a beer today because I got 2 client calls today. I got a couple of client calls to take care of today. So really looking forward to spending time with those folks. But anyways, guys, you know what? Catch me over on Instagram. I'm going to wrap up here, but I'm going to move over to Instagram. As always, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate the discussion. I try to stream every day. So if you have more questions, catch me tomorrow. Or if you want to have one-on-one coaching, feel free to check the links in my bio. Raphael closing us off here saying a beer is always a good plan. Absolutely. I might have a beer tomorrow when I have lunch with my friend. But anyways, guys, as always, we live in a crazy dynamic world and I worry about all of you. So please take care of yourselves. Take care of your families. Catch me over on Instagram if you want. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.